Steam engines hold a very special fascination, and the locomotives owned by the Fulka Steam Railroad are no exception. The HG 44704 can look back on an eventful past.
Die wurde 1923 gebaut von SLM in Winterthur.
She was built in 1923 by SLM in Winterthur. It had been ordered by the colonial ministry in Paris to be used in their colony in Vietnam, which was at the time known as Indochina, where it was supposed to operate between Krong Pa and Dalat. Dalat is located at an elevation of approximately 5,249 feet. The climate up there was much more pleasant than down by the sea, and the wealthy French built mansions up in Dalat where they could spend their weekends away from the heat at the bottom of the hills. Dalat was also perfectly suited for agriculture, and the railroad was first introduced to make the region accessible for those reasons.
Ja, für das wurde die Bahn eigentlich gebaut.
On the 12th of June 2020, the precious engine was finally under steam again. This was part of a special occasion. The prototype engine was finally going to be united with its smallest sister, a model made by LGP. First, however, fuel and water had to be replenished, which gave us a chance to talk to the new managing director of the Fulka Steam Railroad. It's a great job and a really fascinating project. Most of the staff are volunteers rather than ordinary employees. I'm not employed by the railroad either, and like most of us, I devote my free time to this project. We work with a total of almost 750 volunteers, and while we value everyone's ideas and opinions, it's just not possible to cater to each and everyone. So it's my job to make the big decisions. With her water and cold store replenished, the engine makes her way onto the turntable, thereby showing off the complex rack and pinion drive. Soon after, she is joined by the LGP model. The two engines exchange a quick hello steam engine style. Of course, the small whistle on the LGP model sounds a bit more impressive indoors.
Wir sind jetzt im Moment dabei, mit dem Muster die letzten Einstellungen zu machen von der Sensorik.
At the moment, we are focusing on fine-tuning all the electronic components on this model, such as the speed sensors. We also need to make some smaller adjustment to the bodywork. As you can see here, the top of this headlight is made from copper, so this needs to be properly reflected on the model engine as well. The chimney and the smoke box door will receive a finish in matte black. So overall, it's only small adjustments that are left to do. The engine works perfectly otherwise.
Wird man noch anpassen. Sind jetzt eigentlich noch Kleinigkeiten. Die Funktion ist da, haben wir ja vorhin gesehen.
Which engine would the expert prefer, small or big?
In dem Fall vielleicht beides.
Today I would say both, the model for its functions and for the fact that it is the first of its kind. But of course, the prototype under steam with its distinctive smell and sounds is truly fascinating as well. Now the correct steam pressure has to build up, so the engine is ready for a short drive, which is part of today's program. A careful nudge on the lever and the engine is slowly setting off. We have reached the first rack and pinion stretch, where the speed limit's just under 10 miles per hour. Although the previous winter was relatively mild, the track had been hit by avalanches in several spots. The Steffenbach Bridge is one of the highlights along the drive. Each autumn it needs to be fully disassembled, as avalanches would likely destroy the structure during the alpine winter. If you would like to experience this wonderful engine in action as well, you should note down the following dates. We have a triple anniversary coming up. We are celebrating the return of the engine from Vietnam 30 years ago, the 20th anniversary of the reopening of the Realp Gletsch Railroad, and the 10th anniversary of the Oberwald Gletsch Railroad. From Realp to Wernigerode at the Harz Narrow Gauge Railroad in northern Germany, where another jubilee is being celebrated this year, proudly announced by the 99 236. LGB will release a matching model, and we wish the 99-236 safe travels wherever the tracks may lead her. Even in these challenging times, Macklin has once again managed to line up a compelling range of new items. We will have the pleasure of introducing some of those new models in this edition of Märklin TV. Our first candidate is a magnificent steam engine that has a lot to offer. It will be ready to hit the stores very soon.
Die Baureihe 38, ehemals P8.
The engine of Class 38, the former Prussian P8, was built up until the early 1920s, and more than 3,500 pieces of this class had left the locomotive works by 1923. The engine was designed for passenger trains, and numerous different versions coexisted back in the day. The version we chose for our model comes with a steam dome and sand dome, which we have never depicted as a Macklin model before. Our model also has the typical box-style tender in tow. The model shows the prototype as it looked at in the early Era 3 around 1949 to 1950. It also comes with two smaller Wagner smoke deflectors and an open-plan P8 driver's cab. Overall, this is a typical P8 or Class 38 from the early days of the German Federal Railroad. It will be accompanied by a set of 6 matching cars with current-carrying couplers to provide interior lighting from factory. The engine itself will have a pre-installed smoke generator, light inside the cabin, and a flickering from the door of the firebox. The Prussian Lady will also be available as a separate version for tricks. It's full steam ahead for this brilliant steam engine, which together with its set of matching cars will form a nice Era 3 train. Class 96 is a Colossus on rails. The new model version of this engine comes with a factory-installed smoke generator. A second version of this metal-built model will be released for tricks. Both models will be accompanied by a set of matching cars. Last but not least, there will also be a brand new luggage car to top it all off. The Macklin Classics is a special model series whose members will be continuously available from their first release. This series' newest member is the fantastic metal-built 50-2640. The Class 50 engine depicts its prototype as it looked back in 1967, which makes it a typical representative of Era 3. The Macklin dealership initiative MHI is also welcoming a new addition to their family of museum locomotives. This engine had seen and endured a lot during her lifetime. She was built in the late 1920s and was in active service all throughout the Second World War. In 2005, she was stationed at the locomotive shed in Nuremberg, which was destroyed by a devastating fire. It took several years and a lot of commitment to rebuild the engine almost entirely, and the restoration was finally completed in March 2020, so that the engine was ready to return to the museum in Nuremberg. Our new model of this engine will also depict the engine in all her glory. It will receive a coat in glossy paint and will be equipped with an MFX decoder for World of Operations mode. Just like the prototype engine in Nuremberg, this model comes with 2 different pantographs, which give her an even more unique appearance. The model is considered an Era 6 vehicle, as it is based on a preserved museum locomotive. Modern freight traffic is up next. For this category, we have developed a beautiful Vectron locomotive in its SBB Cargo International design. The prototype 193-525 is commonly known as the Holland Piercer and has been introduced to the European rail network a few weeks ago, where it runs primarily from Italy via Switzerland and Germany to the Netherlands and back. For this reason, the SBB has given her these beautifully designed decals. The entire roof equipment, including the 4 pantographs, is true to the original. Position A is used for operation within the Swiss rail network, whereas Position B is designed for direct current operation. This also applies to position C, although the contact shoe is wider in this setting. Finally, position D is designed for operation in Germany. The metal-built model, here shown in a pre-production version, will also be available for tricks. When combining this engine with container freight cars from the same range of products, model railroaders will be able to create a realistic train set, which in real life can be found on rail networks all across Europe. Another option is to combine this engine with her sister engine 193-465 to form a double heading, which their prototypes are also used for in real life, for example at the Simplon-Lötschberg or Scenery railroads. Era 6 truly has a lot of stunning and colorful engines to offer. Every year, the publishing house Verlagsgruppe Bahn awards the Golden Track Award for outstanding model railroad products. As always, we would have been delighted to join the awards presentation, which this year was supposed to take place at the Nuremberg Transport Museum. However, this wasn't possible due to the ongoing pandemic. Here comes the first winning model, a green reptile which is also known as Märklin's heraldic animal, this time in shape of a stunning 1-gauge model.
Mein herzlicher Glückwunsch.
Congratulations! I'm happy to present you with this award. Thank you, Klaus, and thank you, of course, to the readers who voted for the model. It's an honor to accept this award, and I do appreciate everyone's support. This is the V320001, a fantastic engine built from metal components and with the ability to haul extremely heavy loads. This model has claimed a Golden Track Award for its outstanding looks and performance. This model received first prize in the category Diesel Rail Cars, and it's a well-deserved victory in my opinion. Once again, congratulations.
Ebenso herzliches Dankeschön, auch eine riesige Lokomotive.
Thank you. I would agree that this mighty vehicle deserved all the praise it received. A worthy winner. Thanks again.
Von der Leserschaft prämiert wurde. War auch ein tolles Erfolgsmodell. Herzlichen Dank.
Third time's a charm, and so a further victory was claimed in the category Model Railroad Technology. The winning model is a versatile vehicle with a wide range of digital functions. This award is for the outstanding steam crane. Congratulations, Mr. Reindl.
Recht herzlichen Dank, Herr Eckert.
Thank you for this beautiful trophy. It will have its special place here on the company grounds. We are truly grateful for the readers' support and their vote in favor of this great model. With the proper social distance maintained, the winners and officials gathered for photograph. In summer 2020, many things are still a far cry from what they used to be. But nevertheless, Macklin has a good reason to be delighted with their 3 new Golden Track Awards. Staff at the production site in Göppingen are busy working on several of this year's HFO new items. The 2020 club model is the gorgeous TEE RAM. The model of this 4-part train set has reached the painting department, where its roofs will receive their umbra grey color by means of stencil painting. After the paint has been applied, each piece has to undergo a thorough quality inspection before it continues to the next production step. In an additional step, the train's body will also take a quick detour to the hand painting department, where it is once again checked over and small blemishes in the paint are corrected by hand. After all, this is a high-end model and will have to line up to the highest standards. Here is another top model of this year's new product range, a Class 78 engine made from completely new tooling. All molds and tools for this item have been completed, and the first parts are currently being assembled into a test model. Its frame, wheels and numerous little details on the metal body already look very promising. We can hardly wait to see the completed model in all its glory. This is not an ordinary piece of track.
Und für diejenigen, die vielleicht schon andere Gleise im Haus haben.
This is a transition piece specially developed for all those who are contemplating switching to the new C-Track and which will allow a seamless transition from the Fleischmann Pro Track system. This should be available from August 2020. Without doubt, this is an essential element for everyone seeking to build a direct current layout. And now, prick up your ears for this engine. This is the first functioning and driving exemplar of the new Class 66 model. It also comes with a range of different light functions in the driver's cab. We can look forward to a contemporary freight train locomotive that not only sounds amazing, but which will also perfectly complement the existing Macklin and Triggs boiler cars.